And yeah, everyone, this is Thermites, and this is the Weekly Updates. As always, very first link down below is Weekly Shonen Jump. Please check it out. And when I say, of course, Weekly Update, I do mean it's been 2 days, or 3 days, depending on when this comes out. This is a pretty damn good jump. Of course, I should probably be a little more descriptive than usual because everyone, these are coming out weeks after the actual chapters came out, so maybe you don't. It is that everyone reads me and Roboco. And so, of course, I can tell you that this is the week with the Roboco chapter where Roboco does the big good or evil choice. And I assume from that you can then remember, like, oh, right, that must be the one with the Akane-banashi chapter. It's all about, Akane going to the festival and, like, reigniting her, spirit for entertaining people. Or, this is the Fabricant chapter where they just sit down and go, like, hey, well, let's read a book. Or, all those good things. This is the My Hero chapter that isn't 7 pages long. Honestly, legitimately, this was a fantastic week for Jump. Like, Ichinose also really knocked me out of the park. Martial Master Asumi, really, like, the best fight we've had yet, honestly. Which is wild, because it's not a main character fight, but in doing so, I do think, like, I do think the series definitely has proven that it can, do fights between, with characters we know much less about than our main character and have them be fascinating. In fact, like, it's a series where genuinely the gimmicks we set up in chapter 1 with our main character are the things that I find the least interesting. Like, I respect them. I'm sure they'll pay off. And I'm sure, like, all of that is necessary in order to, like, get people hooked. And, I trust the process. But I do think it also is extremely, extremely, it's making me very excited to realize, like, oh, the thing I just want to read are the normal ass, MMA things. Because, if I'm happy with, the meat and potatoes of the series, then anything they do above that is also going to wow me. It has a really, really, really good chance of being, a truly fantastic sports series. Very, 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 very hyped for it. Definitely not one I'm dropping, not unless it really does something insane. But apart from that, not a whole lot yet left to say, because of course I gave you an update 3 days ago. If you look up here, actually, you'll see I have some nested tabs for the next 2 weeks worth of jumps for 09/03/23 and 09/10/23. So, as soon as I have the time, you better believe I'm doing at least one of these. They're both pretty meaty. 03 is... oh yeah, I should probably say also, Shoha Shoten, there was one chapter that came out on 9/03, but I had a chapter for August that I needed to do. So instead, I'm doing the August chapter here, doing the September chapter here, then we'll be caught up. I know I said before that I want to move the chapters to, like, the end of the month, but with, the rate at which I'm, like, putting these out, I don't know if I'll be caught up until, like, the end of September. And so I may as well have, like, a shorter week that week after all the, like, extreme concentrated jump I'm going to be shoving into my veins. I am jumping like you could not believe. Speaking of jumping, this is not a me channel thing, because my channel's just this. You know where we stand. But on my fiance's Patreon, actually, I believe there's a trailer on his channel. But on the Patreon, Donut is doing Bleach, which I'm very, very hyped for. Bleach is one of my favorite manga of all time. I love the vibes. I love the aesthetic. Kubo is a complete insane mad lad. He has a vibe to him that, even if I do think, like, One Piece is better constructed, or I like the themes more in Naruto, Bleach just, it has this pure, inalienable quality that just makes me, read it again and again and again, and look at the chapter titles again and again and again. Like, the thing I love the most about these reactions is genuinely that he is trying to understand all the chapter titles, something that is madness to attempt to do. Also, they're on, like, the Patreon because you can't put that shit on YouTube anymore or your channel gets striked. But, because of that, he's got a bunch of, like, music-y settings to everything. It's a very nice experience. Like, I don't think it's very distracting. I think it honestly slaps. On top of that, because it's, I guess that's the main thing, really. I thought I had something else, but I totally forgot. I guess also just, it doesn't seem like it's coming out on a schedule. It really is just when they come out, but he's done a couple thus far. Oh yeah. The other thing is, even though it's on the Patreon, I believe you don't need a subscription in order to see it. It's like if you just go to the Patreon, I'm pretty sure the links are freely clickable. So check that out. Anyways. Oh, actually, one last thing. The reason I brought that up is because I wanted to brag about obtaining the greatest trade deal in recent history. In that, out of the blue, as I was editing, Donut messages me and says, "Hey, I have a contract." I'm like, "Okay, what is this?" He said, in exchange for in exchange for all the things you usually do for my manga reactions, which include like, making the arcs for him and like doing a little bit of like preemptive research if I know there's something that's going to completely confuse him, like making sure that like if he's getting music off the OST that he's not like picking the final arc's villain track to use like the first arc against the fodder villain or something. But in addition to that, he was like, okay, if you promise to edit them, I will start reacting to Bleach. And of course, I was like, hell yeah, go for it. Let's do this. And then one reaction in, he was like, oh crap, there's a lot of music I want to set to this. And with the way you edit, you, of course, dear audience, know how I edit. Like, there's not a whole lot of airtime left in between, like, cuts. I really like to go for the wall of sound. Because I, as a person, I get very easily bored when I'm watching other people's reactions. There's tons of dead air, so mine have very little dead air, if at all, unless it is like a funny look at the face moments or a if I think it's worth it. But since he needs more dead air in order to do the music, he was like, well, you know what? I guess I'll just edit them myself. And so I have managed to, for nothing on my end besides the things I normally do, I have now managed to get him to do Bleach reactions. Truly incredible. I'm honestly about as hyped about that as I am about the 1,000-Year Blood War anime, which has been fantastic. Anyways. What a strange weekly update. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for watching the channel. Please like and subscribe, send messages. Honestly, even if you don't want to like and subscribe, write a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you think about various things. I get so little inputs, and I know people are watching these. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate you all, even if you don't comment. But come on, leave a comment. Leave a comment. Okay, that's it. See you in whenever for more weekly shonen jumps. Until then, bye for now. Yeah. Whoop.